Hey folks, I'm Coach Mike. This is the MDM show. Welcome to the show. This is brought to you by MDM Life Architects. If you've never heard about MDM Life Architects, it's like a customized life builder with all the fixing inside. You know, a custom home builder where you get to pick the kitchen, you get to pick the master bedroom, you get to pick what type of house you want to design. Thank you to MDM Life Architects for customizing people's lives. So we have a special guest here today. I'm going to see he's waiting backstage. It's Cher Madol. He's a superstar basketball player, up and comer. I'm going to see if I can find him backstage here. Just a second, ladies and gentlemen, to see if we can find him backstage. I gotta press a few buttons here. There, okay, there he is. There he is. Cher, how's it going, buddy? Good to see you.
I'm doing
How's it
good.
going?
You? Good to see you.
Right on. So yeah, welcome to the MDM show. It's great to have you on here today. We're gonna have a little chit chat. So let's get things rocking and rolling. So I was talking with Cher a little bit earlier and said, how are we gonna do your intro? How are we gonna do your intro? So we're gonna let him do his intro. So we're gonna have a little discussion of where he is at right now, where he came from, where he's at right now, and his aspirations for his future. So yeah, let's talk about that. Where are you at right now? And then we'll backtrack to where you came from. So what are you up to?
Oh, so currently I'm playing prep basketball in Bradenton, Florida, a school called Victory Rock.
Right
Um,
on.
it's a really high level academy prep team. We travel all around America playing the best competition there is. So
Cool.
we play guys from all over America. Even sometimes we go internationally too to play. So that's good.
Cool. So how did you said Bradenton, Florida, and how, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you right now?
I'm currently 17 right now.
Wow,
So
like that's totally you're 17-year-old and you're from Regina, correct?
yes.
So you're playing in Florida. So let's talk about that a little bit. How did you get to go to Florida to play basketball and you're not even out of high school yet? Let's talk about how that kind of all unfolded. How did that happen for you?
So there there's I was on social media and this coach started following me on Instagram. So
Yeah.
his name was Coach Jones, and then it was Coach Jackson who started following me. This goes back to like last June. They've been wanting me for like a year now. So this goes back to June. They're asking me a lot of questions um what I like about basketball. They're asking me about my family and stuff, and like how my
Cool.
life is in Regina and stuff. And then they're asking me about like what my aspirations are to like take me down like to the sport. Like what are my aspirations to like take me farther
Mm-hmm.
where I am right now? Because I told them about like how the level of competition is not that high down here, and
Yeah.
like, I think that I could, if I came to your guys' school, I can help impact winning and bring hard working culture, which is what it's all about down there.
Cool. Yeah, because I've seen some of your. I took a look at some of your videos, and yeah, you're like a cut above everybody else. It looks like you're playing on. You're shooting. I saw some of your shooting ability, 3 pointers. You're just like dumping them down. It's like, and you're kind of a big man too. So you're six
Yeah,
six, right?
yeah, I'm 6'6", so I can
Yeah,
play
you're
anywhere.
shooting some good trees. That
Yeah,
was pretty
so,
pretty cool.
yeah.
Social media can be used for a lot of people go on social media just to like waste time. So you're actually able to use social media for good. So you put your good content out there and people start noticing you and then it's like that's a good thing for you. So let's backtrack a little bit of how your basketball career all started and your athletics career and all that kind of stuff, depending how far back you want to go. So where do you remember everything starting for you?
So everything I started from like when I was 12 or 13 during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah.
So I started watching my sister practice during the time school got shut down during the pandemic, and I was like, man, I want to train like get as good as her because like I noticed that she was getting a lot better and stuff, and
Yeah.
like she was like getting a lot of attention too at the time because she was getting invited to like Team Canada stuff at a young
Cool.
age, and like I said, I want to do that too. So I started training with her during quarantine, and then we just basically just grinded. Like we'd watch film on like certain players like KD, Pascal Siakam, and like watch NBA during the bubble, and like we'd study the game, which I think is a huge part in the today's game. If you want to separate yourself from other players, like it's not only about your skill, but it's like how you read the game and
Oh yeah.
how you want to approach certain situations. So
That's cool that you, at such a young age, you're going to want to be a student of the game, be educated in just not like shooting the ball in net, passing to the players, and knowing your position. If you're a student of the game and you model other great players of what they're doing, and you watch your game plan on video and watch what other people are doing, then that's amazing. So, did you even play basketball before this started? Or you just saw your sister doing what she was doing? It's like I want to be a part of that.
I did a little bit, but like not seriously. I started to take it seriously in like grade 8 or 9, and
Yeah,
then I started like working my butt off to like to get to where I am now. Cause like I had a goal, and my one goal is to play Division 1 like all my other like cousins and uncles and all of them, all, like
yeah,
aunties, and all of them, because like they've accomplished a lot. So I said, why can't I do it?
yeah, definitely. So yeah, you got, sounds like your family's all doing that kind of stuff. So you're stepping up to the plate and wanting to achieve the same results and maybe even better that they did, which is I find
Yeah.
super cool. So you said you mentioned training. For the people watching, again, remember this is a high school student. You can start back in elementary and high school. So what do you do for training in the gym, for cardiovascular, for weight training, for stretching, for all that kind of stuff?
So in terms of cardio, I train. I do hills, and I do something called field work slash agility work and sand work, which
Hmm.
basically explosiveness and your agility on defense and being able to move and have good footwork. So which helped me a lot when I was here and down in Florida, because I had the upper hand on my opponents, which separated me from those type of things.
Cool. So do you train? You train really, really, really hard, and if you train really, really hard, then the game situations you've done it so many
Yeah,
times, and
comes
that'll
easy.
move us in, yeah, to the visualization techniques that a lot of athletes use to be able to, when you're doing it in your practice, you're visualizing, you're doing it into the game, and then do you use visualization techniques as well?
Yeah, I visualize, like say I'm doing a basketball drill, for example. I visualize the defender guarding me hard.
Yeah,
I visualize it like I'm actually like playing a real game. Like he's on my hip, he's in my face, and like he's trying to stop me from scoring.
yeah, that's awesome.
Like
So
that's
breathing is very important too, because I know back from my sports, I don't play high intensity or competitive anymore, but the condition, your conditioning, you got to be like conditioned really, really, really well. So you have to push yourself when you're out of breath. So you got to be able to go a long period of time, maximum capacity, which is, it's hard to exert 100% because you're running back and down the court and just shooting shots and you're guarding people. So you expend a lot of energy. So you have to train yourself at a high level to be able to go on the court and play at a high productive rate, which isn't always easy. So how do you train? How long do you train for? Because I remember Kobe Bryant, they used to show him in the gym. He'd get up early in the morning and just keep training and training and training. He'd train 3, 4, or 5 times a day. Well, people are lucky to do one time a day. So, what's your training regime like for that type of stuff, for the cardiovascular? Because I'm interested in kind of that stuff.
Oh, for cardio, I do it like 3 times a week. So like depending on which day it is, I'll either go to the hill or I go
Yeah,
to the field or I'll run on the treadmill for 5 minutes.
cool. Yeah, because
So
the breathing, for me, I remember the breathing. Because if you're out of breath, you can't play. So you got to
yeah.
be able to get your lungs and your heart and everything pumping, and be able to withstand that for a long period of time, so you can play at a high level. Yeah, and then nutrition. What do you do for nutrition? Because that's fuel for your body.
So basically, I just eat anything that my mom cooks, and like it's all healthy food. It's all like traditional African food, so it's
Yeah,
really good. And I try to like stay away from the junk food because I know that can slow me down. And like I've seen it with like many athletes. They try to like go on this calorie deficit and stuff, and they
Yeah.
start to bulk up, and then it enhances their performance because they're not able to weight bury all that bulk that they put on essentially.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, if you eat real food, in my experience, it because I did a lot of the wrong I did a lot of the wrong things when I played. So I was drinking, I was smoking cigarettes and all this kind of stuff. And if you, I can attest that if you're not drinking a bunch of alcohol, you're not smoking cigarettes because those things are bad. And I didn't eat because back I didn't even know what nutrition really meant. That it was fuel for my body. So now I'm actually up to speed on all that. So if you fuel your body with the right things like real food, if you go into the grocery store, there's not a lot of real food. So you have to be selective of putting real food. I know it's hard to do all the time. So I think that's pretty cool that you can eat real foods and that type of stuff as well. What else do we got? So education. So we're not just talking about basketball. Education. I know this is tough, and most people don't even know what they want to be when they grow up. Do you have any idea after basketball? Because I kind of do a life after sport thing. Do you have any idea after basketball? What does that look like for you as far as like a business or where you want to work or what do you want to do?
Not really. I don't really like digged in too deep into it, but I want to kind of work it like within like the basketball business field and like still stay involved
Awesome.
in the game. So that's pretty much what I have
That's
like on right.
that's so smart. Yeah, because I didn't even think of that either back when I was doing my thing. If you can get in, so you want to play NCAA Division One, go through all that, get your education, and then while you are doing that, brand yourself. And then if you go pro after that, you brand yourself even further, and then you can have a bunch of different options for yourself once you're done all that type of stuff, which I think is pretty cool. All right, what else have we got here? Schooling. So what do you take? Do you know what you're going to be taking in school when you go to university?
I'm
College?
not really sure yet, but I've thought about like business, journalism, something around that field.
Yeah,
Just that like I think is my strength.
because you got to
So
remember to do those. It's hard to, how do you, another thing is the time management during a 24-hour day. How do you find managing your time between basketball and social life and family life and school and all that kind of stuff? Do you find it's easy for you? You have to work at it, or how do you go about doing that?
it just really depends on the day, because like sometimes I find it difficult if I have like a harder class schedule, but
Yeah,
sometimes I find it easier if I have like someone like helping me or giving me like tutoring if like I need it to like help like get my grades so that they're solid so I can play. And like I try to like I try to like do like timestamps in between, like how can I balance basketball, do this, how can I do school, how can I still enjoy myself hanging out with my friends and my family. I try
yeah,
to really like have timestamps and like try to like optimize my time as much as possible.
cool. Yeah, time, because time can get away from a lot of people if you're not watching what's going on during the course of a day. Like for me, I have to be regimented, and then I don't like being. I have a structure, but I barely ever keep the structure all the time because something else always comes up. But if you can make a structure and then be flexible enough and leave those little gaps within your day to be able to take care of any unforeseen things is pretty good to do. What else have we got? We're going to go on. So you mentioned, remember, you're still in high school. So NCAA Division One. Do you have a school preference? I don't even know if I should ask you this. Do you have a school preference as to where you would want to go?
Not not really actually. I just want to go somewhere where I'm gonna have the best fit and be able to play basketball and still enjoy all the other little things that come with it.
Yeah, definitely. So as far as the recruiting process, because you mentioned that the coaches saw you on social media, do you have to go out into the field and market yourself to all the different universities, or do you have a coach that does that, or do your parents do that, or do they come to you? How does that how
So
does that work?
it's kind of like it's a bit of both actually. Like so our coach I don't know if I told you this or anything, like Coach Jackson, he's like a really well renowned coach around like the state of Florida, even like beyond that. He's
Yeah.
worked with. He's originally from Chicago, so like he's been around multiple of NBA guys, around multiple Division I players. He's produced 100 Division I players,
Nice.
and he's produced guys like Derrick Rose, Dwayne Wade, Anthony Davis, and Big Glenn. Like he's produced a lot of players. So like a lot of Division I coaches come to our gym because they trust in what he does. Because like
Yeah.
the workouts that we do and the on-court training that we do at our school is basically equivalent to what a college life would be. Like the lifting, the drills and stuff. And like he wants what's best for us. And like he always instills like brotherhood and trust the process. Like that's his biggest model, because like he thinks that this is just big. He thinks it's bigger than basketball, and he also cares about us so much. And
Yeah.
like we can ask him for advice, like, and he'll give us advice, and like he just really cares about the program, which I really value and like. And like he wants what's best for me and my teammates, so that's great. And he does a lot of really good stuff with like coaches and players. Like he's been around the game a long time, so like I really trust in what he does. Like he's
Hmm.
probably the best coach I've ever had, and he's he's a dream coach, if I'm being honest.
Cool. Yeah, because you're dealing with human beings, and to like genuinely care for your players as a coach, not only of their performance on the field, just because Coach Deion Sanders, I'm a football guy, but I do all sports. Coach Deion Sanders genuinely cares about his players and wants them to do good, not only on the field, but off the field. He wants them to do good academically. He wants them to have good relationships. He wants them to be educated. He wants them to do well in their business, and he wants them to have good morals and values and ethics. And that's, if you can have a coach that is all encompassing and cares about you as a player in all those areas of life, just not how you perform on the court, but how you perform as a human being off the court. That's amazing. Because I love that's what I like. Because I didn't always do it myself when I was when I was playing all my sports, but it's so good to be able to do that, to go back and give back to the community, go back to help out the kids in the elementary schools and the high schools, and show them that you care about the community that you're in and what you have to do to be able to get to the level that you're getting to, and then just give back. That's all full circle. You did this whole process and you go back and you give back to everybody else. So that's amazing. For if you had to pick a job, say there was no basket, could be a tough question. So say you didn't have any basketball that was going on, and you had to work. You had to open up a business, or you had to work somewhere, or whatever this may be. What would you choose to do?
I think I'd become a sports journalism / reporter with
Cool.
like, and like try to be within like the NBA or something like that.
So I love that, again, because I didn't think of that when I was young, and it's like, to be able to even think of that is like amazing. So did you just come up with that on your own, or did someone teach you that you can do that, or how to be a part of a sports organization? Because I didn't even know it was a business when I was playing. I didn't know that there was money involved, or there was politics involved, or there's like, you even had to pay for stuff. I just enjoyed playing. So how did you come up with the idea that it's like an organization that you can be a part of? You don't necessarily have to be a player, but you can be a part of the organization somehow, some way.
I just kind of saw it like off of social media and like kind of ESPN or NBA TNT. So I
Yeah,
kind of saw it off of like those guys.
cool. That's very cool. Because I love that. Because if you can't, and that's what I try to tell people too. If you can't make it, just be a student of the game, get into the game, and do as much as you can, and you can fit in somewhere, some way within a segment of whatever. If you have a dream, go for it. And if it fits in there somewhere, just keep going for it, definitely.
Yes, for sure.
So other than basketball, what other recreational, or do you have any other, are you just straight on basketball, or do you have any other like recreational activities that you like to do, like golf or tennis or hiking, biking, that type of stuff?
Not really. I'm kind of just like locked in really with basketball because I want to make it something special.
Cool. Yeah, so you're Tiger Woods straight in. You're gonna go definitely right in, definitely. Cool. I like that. So yeah, you'll be in basketball if that's your goal, if that's your dream, if that's your mindset. Speaking of mindset, mindset's very, very important in all aspects. How do you have anything that you do special to be able to like not be intimidated by other people or going to a stadium or by a coach or other players? Is there anything that you do to like step onto the court and think that, okay, I got to do this now?
So basically, I just trust the work that I put in. Like that gives me confidence in game. Like the work that I put in is for the game. Like so, I trust the work that I do. So like that's what makes me feel like I'm getting better. Like the work I do. So I trust the process and like I stack and stack and stack so I get to the level I want to be at.
That's awesome. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Is there anything that if you get down, like I watched a hockey game the other night with the Edmonton Oilers. I don't know if you watch hockey. They're getting undisciplined. They're taking penalties, and then they're once your mind goes. Even Greg Norman, his mind went, and the Masters went there. Once your mind goes and you're done, like how do you get yourself back after like that type of stuff when that happens? When it's like, do you have a technique where it's like, okay, I missed a couple shots, I got to regroup, I got to regroup and get my act back together? Do you have anything on that?
I go back and watch film, or I just go back in the gym and just work as hard as I can.
Yeah.
If I
What about
don't,
on the court? Like if you're, and there's a lot of trash talking on the court, or there's a lot of chirping on the court. Is do you buy into any of that, or how do
I
you?
don't really tune into that because I don't really care what anyone says. At the end of the game, your game speaks louder than
Yeah,
anything.
definitely, definitely, awesome. Anything else that you I haven't covered, or you want to talk about that we can talk about right now? We went over school, we went over education, training, friends, your future plans, go pro, role model. Anything else? Your family, your parent. You have to say thank you to your parents for
Yeah,
everything they've done for you and all that type of stuff.
my mom does a lot for me. Just
Yeah.
not basketball, just like she supports me through everything. I ask her for a lot of advice, which is good, and
Hmm.
she's just like someone I could like look up to because like she's been there from the start.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Our parents, we take them for granted sometimes. They do so much for us. But yeah, they're our number one fans usually. So I don't know if I have anything else. Check here again if I've missed anything. Is there anything else you can think of you want to chat about? Or I think we're almost done.
Um, we could talk about we could talk about anything else you want. Like you could ask me some questions or like feel free to ask me anything.
Oh yeah. What else? Faith.
Here's
So we mentioned faith. Does faith play a role in your game at all? Like having faith in your game, or having faith in your players, or having faith in your coach, or having faith that you're trusting the process? Or what
like
is that?
I have faith in like so the work that I put in my workouts at on and off the court. I've like faith like I have confidence in the work I put in. So like I can go into the game and like make these shots and make these layups because I have confidence in the work that I put in prior to the game. Because if I didn't put that work in, I'd feel a little bit shaky about like what I'm doing and stuff. But like I put
Yeah,
in the work prior, so I feel confident that I can make this shot and all this other stuff. So like I just trust the work I put in.
cool. So I guess if anybody's watching this, they should contact you if they want to
Yeah,
bring you over to the university and tour you around. Cheers. Cheer will do very well for your basketball organization. He's looking to go NCAA Division 1, so we can list off all the schools. Any coaches that see this, give Cheer a call. He's got one year left in grade 12. That's correct. You're gonna be in Florida,
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
and then after that, so everybody can start contacting him and looking at his stuff to be able to see if he wants to go to your school. So hopefully, I don't know if this will help. It helps you anyway to be able to talk about all the things that you want to do, and then if somebody sees it,
Yeah.
great. And I hope all things work out for you. It sounds like you got everything going on good. I wish I had again, myself, I'm done. But high school, my coach, I'd like to thank my coach Erwin Klemmer, because if I didn't have my coach, I wouldn't have got where I went in sports. So yeah, coaches and parents.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd like to thank my high school coach too. His name's Kellen. Shout out to him.
yeah,
He's been there too from the start since grade 9. He's watched me grow up and mature as a player, and like he was really sad about like me leaving, but like he's really happy for me at the same time. Same with the teachers at my old school,
yeah.
Neil. They've been there from the start. They really like trusted what was doing and stuff. So I really appreciate them, and like my friends from that school too. They've done a lot. So shout out to them if they're watching this.
Oh yeah, definitely. The teachers and the coaches are like hands down. They guide you and direct you, and they show you and they build you up and all that kind of stuff. So we have to think. Good to thank those people as well.
Yeah, they always like wanted what was best for me and stuff. And like I
Yeah,
always turned to them for advice. And
yeah.
like it was sad to see like they still talk to me and text me, and like it was sad for me to like it was sad for them to see me go, but they're still family at the end of the day for me.
Yeah, definitely. You always got to remember your roots, because yeah, you can be going pretty far. And you got to remember to stay grounded, because all these things will be coming at you. And you got to remember those roots, and you got to remember who you are, and you got to remember what you stand for, and always keep that with you. Because yeah, the higher you go, and people will try and like mess with you. So you got to make sure that you stay who you are, and you stick to those values that are in you.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Another thing I wanted to touch on was I think that like if players are watching this in like Regina or whatever, like wherever you're watching it, I
Yeah,
think players need to start surrounding themselves with players who you think that are better than you, because I think that that's very important.
definitely.
Because I was doing that at Victory Rock. Like I was the best, like the probably the best player there. I was playing against him 1v1 every day, and like he was teaching me a lot, and like I was happy because like prior to like before I came, he was at different schools before that, and like he's worked with NBA trainers and stuff, and like he's taught me a lot, and like me 1v1ing him made me a lot better because like he pushed me to get better every day, and like I would always ask for advice from him because he's played the game at a high level and he's been around multiple NBA guys.
That's awesome. I love talking to guys like you, because you're still so young and you already know kind of everything that you need to do.
Like he
That's
was lucky enough to get a Division 1 scholarship this past year to Kent State, so which was good. So now
yeah,
I'm trying to chase what
yeah,
he's now. So
definitely. So yeah, that's another good thing of advice is surround yourself with good people and people that are like on a higher level than you, because a lot of people these days are scared to be with people that are better than them, but you get to learn from people that are better than you, and then you get lifted up to their level, as
he
opposed to
taught me
being.
a lot. So I was grateful for that.
Yeah, yeah. So advice to younger kids coming up: try to elevate your game and don't be afraid to compete with people that are better than you, because then you have to try to up your game to compete at that level. And that's sometimes tough to do for people, but that's, if you want to continue to improve yourself as a human being and improve yourself in whatever sport, that's kind of what you got to do. And pick a good mentor that's going to show you all the different things that you need to do to up your game. That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So peer groups are very important. Who you surround yourself with, very, very important. All right. Well, I think that's all I got. I don't know if I have any other questions. You're a good young man. Of good to have known you and met you here. Cheer. I wish
Yeah,
you
for
the
sure.
best.
Thank you.
And
I appreciate it.
yeah, definitely. I hope you, because I'll be watching you, and I hope you achieve all your goals and dreams and just keep getting better. Keep putting in the work. Keep getting better. Have fun. So if it's not fun, then it's like, what am I doing? So you got to try to have
Yeah,
fun.
sure.
Yeah, try and have fun with the whole process too, and soak it all up. Like I was telling you before, soak it up, enjoy it, build those lifelong relationships with the good people that you meet along the way. Never forget where you came from and your roots, and just enjoy it. Soak it all up, and just enjoy every day and live in the moment while you're experiencing it all. And put in all the work. Just keep pushing yourself as far as you can push yourself, even when it hurts, and even when you want to quit, and even when you don't feel like it, you keep going. And then yeah, You just get to the places where you need to be.
Do
Love
you have
it.
any questions for me about like my school or anything? Like what, like kind of what we do or?
School. Oh, at the Florida school.
Yeah.
Bradenton. My cousin went to Bradenton, Florida. She lived there as a nurse one time, so I don't know much about it. But yeah, what school are you going to there right now? Like you'll be going there in grade 12, and you're there right now. What what are you taking there, and what goes on there?
So pretty much, so school starts at 7:45. We go to a school called Edison Academics, and coaches at our school teach there, and like our head directors and our Coach Jackson, his wife owns the school. They have a school in
Wow.
Orlando, and they have a school in Bradenton, Florida. So they own the school. So we go from 7:45 to 12:30 is basketball, but depending on the day, some players go get working in the morning, but that wasn't kind of the case when I got there. But sometimes we were able to get working in the morning. So if that was the
Mhm.
case, I would do it. So and then after that, we go back to the apartments. We have a bus that picks us up from school and to practice. So they pick us up and stuff. We like have time to go eat lunch, relax or whatever, and then at 2:45 or 2:15, depending on the day, we'll have pickup, and we'll have workouts from like three. So depending on what group you're in. So if you're with the guards or the bigs, or the wings, sorry, guards, wings, or bigs. So we have three groups.
Yeah.
It's either you're doing film, weightlifting, or on the court. So it just depends on the day. So you do that cycle for like 3 hours, and then
Mhm.
after that, um, the coaches we separate the groups with like some players on this side and then some players on this side, and then so like younger players on this side, older players on that side. So we do that. We split up groups and then we play out of like certain sets that our coach wants to see us play out of for like 45 minutes to 50 minutes, and then after that it's about like 7:30, 7:45. We get back home, eat supper,
Wow.
and we do that again. Monday,
Wow.
Thursday, and then Friday we don't have school, so we usually do scrimmages at like 10 a.m. to 12 a.m. on Saturdays, and then on Saturday too we do scrimmages 10 to 12. So
Wow. So you're submersed. That's like full submersion. And that's how you get so and you're submersed in it and you're watching film, you're working with the guys, you're working with the coach, your repetition, 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 all the
yeah,
reps you get in. Yeah, that's amazing.
and you're forced to work hard at the school. Like that's the biggest thing. Like you're forced to work hard. If you don't work hard, they're just gonna kick you out.
Yeah, yeah. So they got standards. Do they have standards of what type of GPA or what grade point average you
They
have to
want
keep?
like they want you to at least be have a 75 and above average, and like every
Yeah,
Wednesday we have to wear a shirt and tie. Like we have to dress formal. If you don't,
yeah.
you practice or play.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So that's pretty much the
Excellent.
situation there.
Yeah, so they're teaching you how to be good human beings, how to be on time, how to take care of your academics, how to become good basketball players. And this is a private school. Do you have to pay to go to this school? Do you get a scholarship to the school, or is it how
I'm
is
on
it funded?
I'm on full ride scholarship there, so I don't really know how
Wow.
it's funded, but I think he has donors and stuff, and like he's a pretty wealthy man himself. So
Wow. Yeah. Good for you, man. That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, that's you're submersed in basketball, so you basically have no choice but to be good. You either get really, 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 really good, or you just fall off. Do many people fall off and just can't take it? Almost like a military boot camp
Uh,
from.
there's been days where players have passed out and puked and stuff. Like it's been hard.
Yeah,
If
I've done that. Yeah,
and like in the weight room, it's really like some days it's very very heavy, and like
yeah,
some days we can't like. But you're like if you like you're forced to basically work out like 4 times a week hard, and like the coach expects has high expectations for all of us, no matter who you are.
Are you allowed to have girlfriends? Like, because you bring girls or no
Yeah,
girlfriends? So yeah, I can see because that's
basically
could be a
just
distraction.
basketball and
That's a
stuff.
distraction too, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, that's like amazing is if for in high school to be able to go to a private school like that where you're just submersed in your sport, plus get educated, plus you got to look after your body, plus you got to look after your dress and all that kind of because they're kind of just grooming you to be able to be professional. And then, yeah, do you know anything about that portal too, like the NCAA portal, how that works? Because I don't ask Nevaeh a little bit about that. I don't know how much about that. I don't know much about that portal.
Yeah, it's our coaches have touched on it a lot. They say that they're not really like recruiting 18 and like they're not recruiting much freshmen. NCAA's coaches think that they can win with grown men versus a guy that's just coming fresh out of high school.
Yeah.
They want if you're 18 or 19, you really need to be like like your body needs to be at par and your experience needs to be good. You have to have a high basketball IQ in order to
Hmm.
that level because they want grown men.
Hmm. Yeah, and my like I always go to the mindset because it's like you have to believe again. You got to believe you're better. This is the whole dichotomy: better than everybody else. As soon as you step on your court, you got to believe you're better than everybody else. But as a human being, you're all humans beings. You have to go out there and you're indestructible, just like Mike Tyson when he walked into the ring when he's fighting people. As soon as he walked into that ring, nobody can touch me. So, but you got to be able to program your brain to turn into the superhero when you get onto the court. It's like every shot I make is going to go in, even though you know it's not always going to go in. But you have to think every shot I take, every pass I make, everything I do is going to be exactly the way I want it. And the more you rehearse that, the more you practice that, the more repetitions you do with that, that's the better you get with it. And it's like I love all that too. It's great.
Yes.
Repetition, 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 and then programming your mind to don't think that you're better than everybody else as a human being, but you have to be able to think that I step on this court, I'm the best basketball player ever that ever lived. But it's like, yeah, you're not going to tell people that, but yeah, you have to think. You have to have a high, like you said, basketball IQ and a high level of self-esteem, and just go about your business on the court. Some people will chirp, some people will be rah rah, some people will play to the crowd, some people. But if, like you said, the work that you put in will do its talking on the court. You do your talking on the court, and then you just let it go, let it play, let it happen for sure.
Hmm.
Cool. Well, yeah, I think we've touched on everything we need to talk about here. So yeah, again, I wish unless you want to go into another direction, we can talk. It's entirely up to you. We got some time, but I think we've
Doesn't
touched
matter.
on.
We can keep talking. Like I'm.
Talk about life. So yeah, you got the whole life. I could do the 7 or 8 elements of life. You got mental, you got emotional, you got spiritual, you got the physical body, you got your relationships, you got your finances. So yeah, make sure if you go somewhere and you start making money, which you will, that you have a that you're looking after your finances, or you have somebody that you trust looking after your finances, and you spend and invest that money very very wisely, and don't just splurge on everything. Because yeah, if your finances are very important and all those other elements are very important in life, and then if you ever open up your own business, learn as much as you can about, like you said, the game of basketball, and then the whole organization of basketball is like huge, from the owners to the general managers to the directors to the marketing departments. So my advice, yeah, learn as much as you possibly can about the business of the game, plus a player of the game, plus the education of the game, plus how you coach the game, like everything you possibly can, like you're doing right now. Learn about the game, the broadcasting, the marketing, the sales, because there's politics involved, everything. Keep your nose as clean as you possibly can. Make as many friends as you possibly can with everybody that you're around. And then if you don't get to play pro, which I hope you do, then you have ins and relationships with everybody that you've met all along the way through your whole entire path. And you start that now, you'll be able to do it almost whatever you want.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So all those elements of life, your mental capacity, your emotional capacity, your spiritual life, looking after your physical body, looking all after your relationships, you got your friends, you got your coaches, you got your family, you got your coworkers, which is your teammates and your players, people that you just have associations with, people that you just meet. You have to be able to manage all those types of things. And then your finances, you have to look after that. And if you're not looking after that, make sure that you have someone that you totally trust 100% that's going to look after your money and invest it wisely so it grows, so that your money can grow for you. And then all those, the business aspect of everything, the liability aspect of everything. Keep your nose clean if you're into an intimate relationship, which I would suggest don't get into an intimate relationship with a woman for a long period of time until you're all looked after, because they'll start coming after you and want to be able to like be with you because they see that you're a hot commodity. This is just all advice from experience that I've had. And yeah, these are all real things that could help you and would help you along the way if you keep all these things kind of like, because that's, everyone has to deal with these things in their life. And if you can start this at a young age, it's like the best thing you can possibly do. And have a good mental programming to like always be positive, have a good positive mental attitude, even though things are going bad and things are going wrong. Don't complain, don't whine, don't moan, don't bitch, don't do all that stuff because no one really cares. Just, well, how come this guy never has a bad attitude? Keep a good attitude in everything that you do, even when it's, because people won't be able to get to you, they won't be able to break you. If you have a good attitude and you have a positive outlook with everything, even when things go wrong, then you'll get out of it somehow, some way. Yeah. Even if you're losing by 20 or 30 points and there's not too much time left on the clock, it's like and you can bring your troops, we can still win. We have enough time, we can win. We get the ball back, boom, boom, boom. You can still, you have to be the guy, I guess you don't have to be be the guy who lifts everybody up and gives them hope to say, okay, let's win. Let's do what we need to do to win. Like, we're here to win every single day, like Michael Jordan did when he's on the court. He pissed a lot of people off, but he made them work. He pushed them, and that's how he won all the championships, because he just had like ridiculous work ethic. Yeah, and then it's like, I just want you guys to win. I want you guys to be the best possible human beings you can be. Definitely.
Yeah, another thing is like coaches look like I've talked and like seen Division I coaches at our gym that have talked to like our players, like including me, my teammates, or whatever, and like they tell us how important character is.
Oh, huge! Yeah, definitely.
They tell us that they'd rather take someone with less talent that has more character.
Yeah, because they don't have to deal. They know you're good. You're looked after. You're going to do good in the community. You're not going to cause any trouble with like anything that's going on. So character is definitely huge.
Yeah, that's what sure. I tell players that don't get it twisted, man. Like there's a lot of players that I've seen that have had a lot of talent that go to like a lower level because they have bad character and have bad attitude.
Yeah. If you're too cocky, you think you're like, I don't need to do all this. I don't need to, And if you're all that's when I say, think you're like good, but don't tell everybody about it. Just have that internalized. When you step on the court, I'm going to just do the best that I possibly can. I'm going to dominate, but don't tell people about that. Just go out and let your product be your play and character. Yeah, definitely. Because they don't want to have to deal with a bunch of crap. That's the whole business side and the politics side and the relationship side of you as the human being. If you have good character, you have good values, you have good work ethic, you have a positive mental attitude, you build people up, you encourage people up, you're helping people around, you're helping the equipment, you're helping everybody, and you're doing all this, like people want to have you around. If you're like a liability and you're whining and complaining and you're like moaning about this and complaining about that, then nobody wants to hear you or have you around. Definitely. That's huge. For sure. Yeah. So and you're starting all this young. I wish I can tell if you have any other people that you know that want to come on here and talk about this, like, because I love building young athletes up to be able to do all this stuff. Because I didn't have any direction other than my high school coach who kind of like fumbled us along the way. He was the help. It's like, if you can start this even in elementary school coaching to high school coaching to college coaching to professional coaching, to be able to build up athletes of how they should really be as human beings, because you got to build up the human being while you're building up the skills of whatever sport someone's doing, and then all that kind of just puts itself together. And the earlier that starts, the better, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could talk about this forever. Any other questions about life or sport, of how they kind of all intermingle together? So we're talking about life, because you got to live your life, and then the business of the sport that you're playing, and then even the life and the sport and the business, they all come together. Because if your life's no good, then your sport probably won't be that good, and your business. But it's hard to be able to manage all these things and make them all good all the time, because you're gonna have to deal with when things go wrong or something doesn't jive here or something bad goes on here. You have to, how you rebound after a major loss or a loss of a loved one or a breakup or something bad happened. You're gonna have to put yourself back together and keep on going. All those types of things too.
Yeah, I think kids got to understand, like, you got to control your emotions.
Yeah, yeah, to be able to know your thought. And I talk to people this. I don't even know if they understand. Because you're thinking thoughts every day. You're thinking thoughts every day up here. So, and you're in control of your thoughts, no matter what you're thinking. So if you can be an observer to the thoughts that you're thinking, this is where the visualization techniques, when your mind's eye comes into play. So if you're thinking and visualizing yourself on the basketball court of everything that you're going to do, so you don't want to be thinking a whole bunch of negative thoughts, because once the negative thoughts start creeping into your brain, or it's like, I'm not that good, and I missed a shot, and I missed another shot, or I'm slow. You can't. And then when you put in the work, you keep thinking positive mental thoughts of how exactly you want it to go, and then when you go to the physicality of it, then you do it. Then you do it in real life. But yeah, observe your thoughts, be in control of your emotions to know what's going to trigger a reaction. Leave a little space if someone pisses you off. Just leave some space, or 24 hours, or don't react right away. And then you can think like how to respond to that.
Yeah, you can also cycle back to it.
Yeah, yeah. So think about it. Don't react right away, and then kind of hash it through. So be an observer. Just be an observer of your thoughts. Keep on working on yourself as a human being, of how you can be the best possible. It's all cliche. Be the best possible human being you can be. So yeah, read the good books, watch the good videos, listen to the good audios, all that kind of stuff, and you program your mind to be able to get through everything that you can get through. And it's amazing. Once people start doing that, again, you're starting all this young, you'll be amazing at it. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'll help you with whatever I can all along the way. Definitely. You can call or text or send me an IG whenever you want.
Just touching on like what you talked about with the transfer portal. Kids got to understand now, like, college basketball is a business.
Yeah.
Is a business, and like you're up against guys at any level, like at every level, whether that's like NAI, Division 3, JUCO, Division 2, versus high school. And like people got to understand, like, if that's your goal, you got to really, 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 really put in the work and ask yourself, what am I doing this for? Because like, not getting paid to play, so it's basically professional sports now, and like you got to really like ask yourself, like if I'm not seeing results, why?
Yeah. And that's how you put the whole thing together. You have to, again, analyzing your thoughts, analyzing your emotions, your spiritual life. Are you living a clean life? Are you eating clean? Are you doing all you can? Being in the game, watching your film, going to practice, practicing hard, getting rid of the distractions, all that type of stuff, for sure. And the competition's like high.
Yeah.
And everyone, and it's pressure. And it's pressure when you're young too. Like all this pressure, like, and that's why I say have fun with it, and then get as much education as you can, so you have something after the game, after the sport's done, after you've, like, say you played NCAA Division 1, then you go to pros, and then you go after that, and it's like, I get some skills, build relationships with people, and learn how to talk, learn how to like express yourself, because communication is huge. And you see all the broadcasters now, they come on here and they're animated and they talk and they do all this kind of stuff. So after you're done, kind of reverse engineer, after your career is done, everything that you need to do now to be able to like put yourself into all those positions that you could possibly see yourself in, and prepare for way over here now, and then you put it all together.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, that's what makes it fun. And yeah, if it sucks, and have fun. Like try to be able to deal with all the pressure at a young age. Yeah, that's a tough one to do for some because it's like all this pressure on you, and you don't get to be a kid. Still, you still get to do kid things and have fun with your friends and socialize and all that. Because if you're starting business that young, again, I guess I kind of had to do that with. I had a bunch of jobs. Do you have any job? Have you done any like real jobs? I had a
No,
bunch of.
not really.
Yeah, because I did. I remember I had to do a bunch of crap. I've done a lot of crappy jobs in my time for sure. So yeah, you're putting all your eggs into basketball, and I'm sure it'll work out for you definitely. But yeah, you have way more opportunity to be able to do that right now. And then yeah, building those relationships and getting ready for all that for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I think I got nothing else, although I can talk about this stuff forever. Hey, have any more questions?
I don't really think
Learn
it's.
that portal, I guess. Learn that portal well. Build the relationships with everybody you can. Ask your coach if the marketing for you after you're done grade 12 in Florida, how that's going to do. You have to go contact all the schools, or will he contact all the schools, or will the schools just come to you, just kind of be able to market yourself? I guess
He
put
he
us.
does a good he does a great job of getting players to places that they want to be though.
Yeah,
Like he's done a phenomenal job of building this program for where it's from where it started to where it is now. Because like he had a son that played there prior, who's actually playing professionally in Poland right now,
yeah,
who who he's trained from a young age. So
yeah. Awesome. Well,
and
I'm
he
sure you'll be doing just fine. Again, try to enjoy the process and soak it all in, and yeah, just enjoy it all.
yeah,
Definitely.
sure.
And have as much fun as you can with it. You could take it serious, but try to have some fun with it too. Put some comedy into it as well, or else it's like it's no fun, and then it just becomes like a job. I got to go to my job every day. Yeah, because basic basketball becomes a job, but if you look at it as you're just playing basketball in the street with your sister one on one or whatever, then yeah, you go back to that. There's no pressure, there's no stress. You're just enjoying, and then still want to do well for sure.
Hmm.
Definitely. All right, Cheer. I think we're going to call her a
Yeah,
night here. I appreciate you coming on here. Thank you for coming and having a little discussion. It's been fun. Um, Again, one
thank
more time.
you. I
What's
really
that?
appreciate it. I said thank you for having me on the show. I really appreciate it. I'll do it anytime if you'd like again. Like it's
Yeah, for
really good.
sure. Maybe we'll do it after or when you're playing in the season or after the season
Yeah.
to see where we're at then. Definitely, people can keep updated. Because everybody's going to be chasing you now. I want that guy. I want that guy on my team. Definitely. Okay, cool. Thank you again, sir. And you're in Regina for when do you head back to Florida?
I head back to school in August or September. I'm not really sure yet. Our coach is going to start communicating with us soon, and our
Cool.
team chat. So
All right. Well, say hi to Nevaeh next time you see her, and
yeah,
we'll be
we'll
in touch.
do.
We'll be in touch soon, and keep up the good work, and then spread the word that you're up and coming, and that teach people younger than you what you know, and then how to be good human beings. Definitely, because we
Hmm.
need more of that. We need more. That's the beauty of sport. But people have to raise their standards. If people think they're just going to be good at something just because, you actually have to keep raising your standards and putting
Yeah,
in the hard work. It's hard work. It's not easy.
that's
People
what I
think it's
had to
just,
do when I went to Florida too.
yeah, it's
I'm
not
like,
easy at all. You got to put in the work. You got to put in the struggle, the trial, the tribulations, the heartache, the pain, the suffering. It's like, that's all part of the process.
hmm
It's just not a cake. It's not a cakewalk. Definitely. No.
yeah.
All right. Thank you, sir. Again, it's been a
Thank you,
pleasure. Good
thank
luck
you.
with
Appreciate it.
all your endeavors.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Oh yeah. Have a
All
good one,
right,
man.
easy man.
We'll end it right here. We go.